Right, where are we? Section 4.6, page 65, changing fractions to decimals. Very, very simple. Question 1, grade D rated. Look, a fifth you know is 2/10 by doubling up. That's 0.2, right? No mistake with that one. Next one, 7/10 is 0.7. 1/8 needs doing, I think. Look, 1/8 is tricky. We're trying to say how many 8s go into 1. They don't go. Put a decimal point. 8 into 10 go once, 2 left over. 8 into 20 go twice, 4 left over. 8 into 40 go 5. So really we're looking at an eighth being 0.125. Alright? It's definitely worth learning that one. Alright? Just like you know that 3/4 is 0.75, etc., etc. Just learn that one as well. 3/20ths looks terrifying. It's so not. To get it out of 100, times by 5. 3 5s are 15. And therefore we look at 0.15 as a decimal. Alright, 3/4 is 0.75. 3/100ths, straightforward, 0.03. Please note two figures. Alright, 1/50th, very, very easy. Take it out of 100, 2 out of 100, otherwise known as 0.02. 3/10 is 0.3, very boring. Question 2, which of these is closest to, let's take another page then, which of these fractions is closest to 0.67? The first one's going to be 3/4. Well, that's 0.75. That is 0.0. Let's have a look. 0.09 difference. So we'll worry about that in a minute. 5/8. Just do a little division sum here. How many 8s go into 5? They don't go. Put a point. 8s into 50 go 6. 6 8s are 48. 2 left over. 8 into 20 twice. What's left over? 16. 4 left over. 8s into 40 go 5. 0.625. Remember, if you're not sure, fill up with zeros. Alright, so I think you can see that 0.625 is pretty close to 0.70, and it's a lot nearer than 0.75 is to 0.67. Anyway, the last one's going to be, working down here now, 3/5. Well, that's dead easy. That's just 0.6. Let's have a look at them. I've got 0.6, 0.625 and 0.75. It's 0.60, isn't it? And another 0 if you must. I think 0.625 is nearer to 0.670 and certainly nearer than 0.750. So the nearest one is 5/8 because 5/8 is 0.625. Turning over the page. Write these decimals as fractions. Well, I've got 0.59. That's a very boring one. It's just 59/100. Nothing to simplify there. 0.4. Do that one quickly. 0.4. 4/10, best known as 2/5 if you simplify it down. 0.25. Well, that's a quarter. You know that one. 0.36. That's going to be 36/100. Simplify it down by halving just to make life easy. 18/50, take it further, 9/25, and now we stop with that one because it can't go any further. Fully simplified. That'll do. Question 4 talks about recurring decimals. 1/9. If it's a recurring decimal, then you're going to find a pattern that repeats itself. So here we go. How many 9s go into 1? They don't go. Put a decimal point. 9s into 10 go once. What's left over? Well, 1/9 is 9. 1 left over to get 10. Here we go again. 9s into 10, 1, 1 left over. 9s into 10, 1, 1 left over. In other words, the answer is 0.1 with a little dot there to show it's recurring. Alright, next one, 2/3. 2/3, here we go. So 3s into 2, they don't go. Put a decimal point. 3s into 20 goes 6 times. 6 3s are 18, 2 left over. 3s into 20, 6 times. 6 3s are 18, 2 left over, etc. Answer, 0.6 that recurs all the time. 1/6, let's do this one. I know this one's trickier. Does 6 go into 1? Not on your Nelly, so it's 0. Whatever. 6 into 10 go once, 4 left over. 6 into 40 goes 6 times, 4 left over. 6 into 40 goes 6 times, 4 left over, etc. So be careful, it's 0.16, but it's only the 6 that keeps recurring. So it's 0.16666666, etc., etc. That'll do. question 5 has got an asterisk by it. It's a dodgy little star thing. Exclamation mark rather. So I'm going to do this one. I've got 4 over 15 and I'm told that recurs. So let me just do that. Okay, here we go. How many 15s go into 4? They do not. Now put a point. 15s into 40 go twice. 2 15s are 30. 10 left over. 15s into 100 go 6 times. 6 15s are 90. 10 left over. And here we go again. These 6 is going to recur and not the 2. So we've got 0.266666666. So therefore the answer is 0.26 recurring. Shall I try another one? I'll do 1 over 22. Because that's the last one. It's probably really difficult. So if I crash on this one, forgive me. 6 into 1, so 22 into 1 does not go. Put a point. 22 into 10 doesn't go. Put a 0. 22 into 100. Well, I know that 5 of these make over 100, so it's 110. So I reckon I'm going to go for 4 of them. 4 of 22s are 88. Leaves me with 16 left over. Right, let's try and do this in my head. 22s into 160. That's going to be 5, 6, 7. Let me just try a 7 to the side here. So 22 times 7 is going to be 14. 7 2s are 14 plus 1 is 15. 154. So I was right about estimating 7. 154 from 160 leaves me 6 left. Great. So 60. 22s into 60 goes twice. 22s are 44. Therefore, from 60, I've got 16 left. Oh, there goes another 0. How many 22s go into 160? It was 7 times. And off we go again. Let's just try it. 154 from 160 is going to be 4 times. Sorry, 6 times. Put another 0. 22s into 60 goes twice. So I've got, and it's very difficult this, 0.04727272. This is how it's written. I'll write it out for you again. 0.0472, and you put a dot above the 7 and a dot above the 2, because they're the 2 numbers that are going to keep recurring. And there I go. I'll do question 6. It's a wordy question. On her birthday, Bridget is given a big box of small sweeties called Little Diamonds. So far, that's irrelevant. She wants to find out how many sweets are in the box, but will take too long to count them all. The label on the box tells her that the total weight is 500 grams. It's half a kilo of sweeties, too much for a little girl. She weighs 10 sweets, and that comes to a total mass of 0.4 grams on her digital scale. How many sweets are in the box? Well, 10 sweets weigh that. What will 500 grams of sweets? How many sweets is 500 grams? Right, well, here we go. If I work out how many 0.4s go into 500, then I can multiply each block of that by 10. Alright, here I go. 500 grams divided by 0.4, that's like saying 5,000, remember, divided by 4. Halve it down. 2,500 divided by 2, and that's going to be 1,250 divided by 1. Right, therefore, every little block of this, I've got 1,250 lots of 0.4 grams, and therefore if I take my 1,250 times it by 10 lots of sweets, I will get 12,500 sweeties in the box. Alright, nice little sum that, isn't it? I've also looked at question 7. I think it's a beauty, and this is certainly a bit of a brain teaser now. I've got 3 identical blocks of wood are placed as shown. Well, this is what I see in the book on page 66. I see a block like that, I see another one like that, and I see another one like that. And by the way, they're all meant to be identical, but I'm just sort of doing it freehand here. And I'm told all the way across those 3 I've got 0.42 meters, and we're looking at 42 centimeters, aren't we? So there we go. I might be using that later on. Right, it says here their place is shown so that the top one rests with a third of its length on each of the other two. So let me get this straight. I've got a third of that length resting on that one. I've got a third of his length resting on him, and that means I've got a third dangling in the middle amongst the fresh air. So from here to here I've got one block, from here to here I've got another one block, and from here to here I've got a third of a block. So altogether this length of 42 centimeters represents 2 1/3 blocks. Is that alright? So essentially I've got to divide 42 by 2 1/3. Let's go back to this yellow then. Now 2 1/3 is, if you multiply and top heavy it, 2 3s are 6 plus 1 is 7/3. That's how many blocks I've got. 7/3 is 2 1/3 of a block. So if I can take my 42 and divide it by 7/3, I should be able to get my answer. Now let's write it properly. You may recall that when you divide by a fraction, you flip this right hand side one over, so it's 42 over 1 divided by 7/3. We can write it as 42 over 1 times 3 over 7. Now look very carefully. 7 goes into 42 6 times. 7 goes into himself once. What am I left with? I'm left with 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times 1 is 1, so 18 over 1. Each little block is 18 centimeters in length. That's all there is to it. Well, that's it. That's a real beauty, I thought. A good application of fractions. And just put black around that because I've not used black all day today, and I rather like it. There's your final answer. 18 centimeters is 1 block. Alright, so I just want to stop that one and then move on.